Good evening and welcome everyone. Children fall asleep naturally when they are tired, and we all adults assume the same. But do we often fall asleep? That's the question. Our busy work-life schedules, workload stress, and intake of caffeine, and not to mention binge watching on OTT platforms, keeps us awake and keeps us from falling asleep on time. Well, this routine puts our health at major risk, and the root of this cause is related to many health problems. Today, 19th of March is observed as World Sleep Day, which aims to consider and aid those who have sleep problems. And it's important to create awareness among people about the importance of sleep. Our clinicians have been carefully observing this problem. In most of our patients, this has become a pattern. Hence, they realize it's time for SAKRA to take charge of this problem before it becomes any worse. They created a multidisciplinary program that clearly focuses on giving people their sleep back. Ladies and gentlemen, we now introduce to you our new SAKRA Sleep Right Program, one of its kind program that will treat all sleep-related disorders such as snoring, obstructive sleep apnea, insomnia, restless leg syndrome, and daytime tiredness and fatigue. I would like to now call upon our SAKRA Sleep Right Program leaders to step forward to launch the program with lamp lighting service. Doctors and our senior management, so please.
Facing the camera, and facing the floor.
Thank you, doctors. Thank you, sir. I now invite our Managing Director, Nakano-san, to say a few words on this new initiative.
Good evening. Namaste all. They say good laugh and long sleep are two best cures for anything. That's why we feel more alert, more energetic, happier, and better able to function following a good night of sleep. And with the devastating consequences of novel coronavirus, needless to say, it has reiterated the importance of maintaining a good immune system to keep us healthy and safe against viruses and diseases. Although sleep is not the cure-all medicine for all health disorders, it certainly is a natural immune booster that helps the body recover faster from sickness and helps defend against pathogens like viruses and bacteria. Thereby, most health experts recommend sleeping at least 7 to 9 hours every night. Many people in Bangalore city today suffer from various sleep disorders due to factors like hectic work schedule, obesity, and unhealthy lifestyles. Keeping the importance of sleep in mind, to be aware of various sleep disorders, we have launched the SAKRA Sleep Right Program, multi-specialty approach to diagnose, treat, and cure sleep disorders of today on the occasion of World Sleep Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite our Deputy Managing Director, Matsumi sir, to say a few words.
Good evening. Lack of sleep makes us cranky, affect how we feel and then think. Waking up naturally with a calm and a rested feeling means you are getting a proper sleep. But if you feel chronically fatigued, low in energy, and then often feel sick despite eating healthy and then exercising, it is time to check your sleeping habit. If this persists for a long time, consult a physician or sleep expert to check the actual cause. The effect of sleep disorders on the quality of life is enormous and must not be ignored. Our team of doctors at SAKRA have analyzed the problems of the sleep disorder and its consequences and its immense effort. They have come up with a solution to address the problem. On this World Sleep Day, we are launching one of its kind, a multidisciplinary comprehensive sleep center that treats children and adults suffering from sleep disorders. The clinic is open to all. One can walk in and then get their sleep problems evaluated, diagnosed by our sleep expert and the team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite our ENT program lead, Dr. Shantanu Tandon, to say a few words.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to wish everyone a very healthy World Sleep Day. Over the last couple of decades, there's one thing that I've realized, and that's we don't really realize how important sleep is. We kind of take it for granted. And we don't even realize when we're sleeping badly, because some of the problems that we develop due to poor sleep are very subtle. They're things that we shrug off and say, you know what, this happens to people at some times. There are a variety of different sleep disorders which can be there. Some could be induced just due to something like stress or anxiety. Some could be very, very ambiguous, like a restless sleep, a lack of sleep, a very restless sleep. And these are problems which can be dealt with by a different set of clinicians, our neurophysicians, our sleep psychologists, etc. And then there is that most common problem that we all come across at some point of time or the other, and that's snoring. And then certain byproducts of that, a condition called obstructive sleep apnea. Now, this is something that we all come across, and nearly everyone considers snoring to be just a part and parcel of life. But fact of the matter is, nearly 40% of all male adults and nearly 30% of all female adults snore. And nearly 20 to 25% of all snorers will have some form of obstructive sleep disorder or a form of sleep apnea. So it's not something that can be brushed under the carpet. And we figured that there must be something we can do to make the process of managing such patients more simplified. Now, why do we really need to simplify it? It's probably because people don't really realize whom to approach, because sleep problems present with different kind of symptoms. Should we go to a cardiologist because I have high blood pressure? Should I go to a pulmonologist? Because there must be something related to that, right? Some people say that you have a nose block which is causing your snoring and you should probably meet a ENT surgeon. And that's why people just randomly end up going to different places, and if they're lucky, they go to the right place. So the aim of this multidisciplinary approach is to find a combined team which can work on each patient, understand where the problem actually lies, and then deal with it. If it's neurological, you meet a neurophysician. If it's something which requires a device, we deal with a specialist team which deals with devices. If it's something which is causing a simple obstruction like a blocked nose, an enlarged tonsil, then it's something which can be very easily dealt with. But apart from that, there are a lot of new technologies which can help deal with these problems. For example, the use of something called a sleep endoscopy, where we use a simple method of evaluating a person while the person is asleep. And that gives us a real-time picture of where the problem lies, where is the blockage, and what kind of blockage is it. And then there are some newer technologies like a radio frequency based approach, where in a 5-minute procedure in the OPD itself, we can help tighten the tissues which are loose and help improve the airway. There are a whole lot of other things, and that's not in the scope of today's talk. But essentially what we're going to do is advise you to not ignore your sleep and come by when you feel that you might have a problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. I now like to call upon our Pulmo Program Team Lead, Dr. Sachin Kumar, to share his insights.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I first congratulate the team SAKRA for this initiative, which has been neglected, and to give it due recognition, which was due for long. So today, at the occasion of World Sleep Day, where the motto is sleep should be given importance, regular sleep for healthy life. That is our motto. And you see, sleep is a necessity of life, which we all agree, but often neglected. And sleep is multi-dimensional. So a problem which has multiple faces, a multiple approach or multiple team members can only assess and diagnose. So it's always better to add some flavors to the recipe rather than eating only bland food. So that is how I see the SAKRA's team approach to this comprehensive program. And to give an insight, what I see, that our team as a sleep specialist, we all are complementary to each other. Our domains might overlap. Like ENT can give an insight about the airways. The neurologist can pitch in when there are problems associated with the insomnia and other complex sleep disorders when we are talking about. And the cardiology is in the back front always. And because all these patients who have BP, sugar, heart problem, invariably are at higher risk of sleep apnea. And also those who have sleep apnea can go on to have these type of things in future. So as a physician from our side, it's very important to raise the awareness, at the same time give a platform to the patient all across, so that it's everything devised under a single roof. And we have an algorithmic approach to the problem, where each team member knows his own area of expertise, and the patient is taken as a whole. A 360-degree approach, what we say, is very essential in managing these patients. And not only we have to deal with the snoring or sleep apnea, but we have to highlight at the same time the importance of diet, nutrition, shedding weight, lifestyle modification. And with the coronavirus setting in, I must say, day in and day out, with the work from home environment, what we see, the office is encroaching your bedroom. So everybody is working at a stretch for long hours, working at phone, laptop, sitting at home. That is not something which we know earlier. And that is why the importance of sleep hygiene, which has to be inculcated in our patients, how to have a sound sleep. And also, it's sleep right, it's sleep tight. So we have to be refreshing and giving the sleep importance what it deserves. So I welcome you all to our initiative, and I hope we will be able to cater a wide gamut of sleep disorders, and with each of us team members joining hands together, it's a one-of-kind of approach what we see here with a patients with sleep disorders. So thank you all.
Thank you, Doctor. I now invite our cardiac program team lead, Dr. Srikant Shetty, to say a few words.
globe. And we all know that bad sleep is not just about poor lifestyle any longer or quality of life. It also leads to very serious illnesses such as stroke, heart arrhythmias, heart failure, and so on, which we all know carry very significant impact on the individual's health. Unfortunately, there is a lack of awareness both amongst doctors as well as amongst the general public in terms of the importance of sleep disorders and the impact it has on their life. So I think this is a great initiative to institute a comprehensive multidisciplinary clinic which will analyze various aspects of sleep disorders and guide the patient appropriately so that we can identify sleep disorders, quantify sleep disorders, and advise them a multi-focused, therapies which will help them lead a very good life. From the cardiac perspective, what I can tell you is that sleep disorders are under-recognized, under-investigated in patients with cardiovascular diseases. Even patients who come with simple things such as high blood pressure, a lot of young individuals, some difficult to treat hypertension, they often have underdiagnosed sleep disorders. Now when we tell them to get a sleep study done, a lot of them are surprised. They would think that what's the connection between my uncontrolled BP and a sleep study? So this connection cannot be overemphasized. It is very important. So similarly for patients who have congestive heart failure, that is breathlessness due to fluid buildup, you can never treat them adequately with drugs if you do not recognize sleep disorders and address them. So this is how sleep apnea and other sleep disorders can impact our patients in a lot of ways. So I congratulate Team SAKRA for conceptualizing this clinic, and we hope we will be able to serve our patients well. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. I would like to now call upon our pulmo expert, Dr. Ajay Handa, to say a few words.
Good evening, one and all. Thank you for this initiative of SAKRA Sleep Right Program. And as all the previous doctors have emphasized, sleep is very important for good health. The three pillars of good health are sleep, appetite, and your energy levels. If you don't sleep well for 6 to 8 hours in a day, you only realize the next morning what you are going through. If you travel and go to US, the night that you have traveled, the next morning when you reach, you are completely drained of energy. So sleep is very important. Sleep is a part of restoration of the brain. Sleep is a part of restoration of the body for the challenges that it faces the next day. So it's been neglected. A large survey was carried out which showed that during this post-pandemic period, stress has gone up, and the stress levels have impacted people's sleep so much so that almost 30 to 35% of them are recognizing sleep deprivation. It comes in very, very subtle manners, like just feeling tired, feeling off color, feeling drained out, lack of energy, lack of performance, lack of improvement in memory, thinking, judgment. So these symptoms are so vague that patient does not think that it is a sleep deprivation related. So as brought out by the previous doctors, that you can approach the hospital and try to improve your sleep. If there is a problem of lack of sleep, that can be addressed. The problems where we have an expertise are the problems of sleep related respiratory problems, where there is sleep apnea, that is slow breathing or stoppage of breathing. So the people who are listening, if they have a loud snorer in their house who is disturbing your sleep and you are waking up the person more than 3 times, there is a possibility that he could be having sleep apnea due to obstruction. Another thing is if he is waking up with choking episodes, gasping episodes in the night. So these two are alarm symptoms. Please consider sleep apnea. If your quality of sleep is poor, if you are sleepy in the day, then there's some problem with you. So take care of your sleep, because sleeping well then puts everything into right path, your health remains well. increased, waking up at night multiple times increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even sudden deaths. So don't neglect your sleep. Take it seriously, and may you all sleep very peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. I now call upon our psychiatry program team lead, Dr. Fareed Omar.
Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I just joined the psychiatry department recently.
The mic, please. Mic closer.
So I think most of us are familiar with the bidirectional relationship between sleep and physical health. But I just wanted to emphasize a little bit about how sleep can be a sign of psychiatric problems. So when the insomnia is short term, maybe lasting a few weeks, then it can be handled effectively with short course of benzodiazepines and other medications. But when it turns into a longer term problem, what we call chronic insomnia lasting more than 3 months, 3 times a week, then it would be a good idea to refer the patient to a psychiatrist, because there might be other problems at play, maybe a psychiatric disorder, or maybe they've entered into a vicious cycle where not being able to sleep is causing a lot of stress. So in those situations, we like to educate the patient repeatedly and thoroughly about sleep hygiene, which is the gold standard, and also to conduct some psychotherapy, such as supportive psychotherapy, to make them understand that this is not going to be a permanent problem, that they can overcome this, and also judicious use of benzodiazepines, because if they get into a cycle of just using benzodiazepines and becoming pill happy, then that can lead to more problems. So it's very important that they get the whole, the thorough engagement in therapy, which is talking therapy, medications, and also the support that they need in those situations. And also psychiatric evaluation to see if they're suffering from any kind of psychiatric disorders. So I just wanted to encourage everyone to please refer patients in such situations. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. I now invite Dr. Deepak Balani to give the vote of thanks.
Folks, on this World Sleep Day, we are launching SAKRA's integrated program that all people who have any kind of a sleep condition receive the comprehensive care they can get so that they can sleep right and wake up right. So I thank all our clinicians who have participated here and all the members in the audience, Dr. Srikant, Dr. Sachinkumar, Dr. Adehanda, Dr. Srikant Shetty, Dr. Fareed Omar, our Managing Director and Deputy Managing Director. And the most I would like to thank everyone tuned into this